Hello guys, JP here. I hope you're doing absolutely amazing. In today's video, we're looking at 10 of the best tarantulas to start with, part 2. There's more than 800 tarantula species out there to choose from when you're starting off in the hobby, so choosing the best tarantula to start with is harder than you think. Do you go over old world and new world, big or small? That's just some of the questions you may have. New world species are better for beginners, just because they're more docile and slower than old worlds and less defensive. They don't in fact have a lot of health problems in captivity, making tarantulas a fascinating pet. With the proper care, tarantulas can live up to 20 years depending on the tarantula. This list will help you choose your first tarantula. Let's kick off the list with number 10 being the Mexican red knee. The red knee is one of the most popular tarantulas to start with. They will grow between 12 to 14 centimeters in length, so they're a nice sized tarantula to start with. They're also very pretty tarantulas with a black abdomen with brown hairs. The legs are orange to dark with red and orange joints. This is where they get their common name from. Because they're quite docile, a lot of keepers will typically handle them and not have no problems. Number 9 on the list has got to be the Brazilian black. Who wouldn't want a full black tarantula, right? They really are a must-have for anyone who keeps tarantulas. They have a velvet black body, making them stand out, and they really are a beautiful tarantula to keep. They're a medium-sized tarantula that will grow between 6 to 7 inches. They're a slow grower, making them easy to house, and you haven't got to rehouse them all the time. Of course, they're normally docile and easy-going tarantulas. This is why they make great beginner tarantulas. Number 8 has got to be my favourite tarantula out there, and that's the green bottle blue. One of my favourite tarantulas in the hobby is the GBB. Not only do they look out of this world with the metallic blue legs, the blue body and orange abdomen, they're also one of the best webbers out there. They will use all of their enclosure when it comes to building their webs, and they really do stand out when they're on their silk white web with their brightly coloured body. They are fast growing tarantulas with females getting a leg span of 15 centimetres, and they are very skittish tarantulas, so they're not for handling. Number 7 on the list, I've got to go to the pink toe tarantulas. They have a dark coloured tarantula with pink and orange toes. This is where they get the common name from. They get a leg span between 3 to 5 inches depending on the sex. Females will grow a bit bigger than males. Because they are tree dwelling, they will spend most of the time up in the trees in the wild, so it's important that you have a nice tall enclosure for them, and they'll spend a lot of time up high chilling out. Number 6 on the list has got to go to the curly-haired tarantula. If you ask any tarantula keeper out there, they'll say the curly hair is one of the best to start with. They are known for being very calm and collective tarantulas. They're also known for not kicking a lot of hairs, which makes them a lot easier to handle and to clean out when you're starting off in the hobby. They're also a nice sized tarantula, coming in at between 4 to 6 inches, so they're not too big and not too small, and their colours are dark brown or black hairs on the body when adults, making them a very pretty tarantula for sure. They're very docile, very chilled and very slow as well, which makes them a great one to start off with. Number 5 has got to be the pumpkin patch tarantula. There's 2 different species of pumpkin patch tarantulas out there, and they're both highly sought after just because of how bright orange and black abdomens these absolutely beautiful animals have got. They're also a dwarf tarantula, which means they're small when they're adults, making them an easy to house tarantula and to keep. They have a gorgeous pattern on them too. What else can you ask for in a tarantula, right? Number 4 on the list has got to be the skeleton tarantula. They get their common name from the way they look. They have white stripes that runs down their long legs, making them have a skeleton look to them. They have black legs and a small brown abdomen with a coffee coloured or golden coloured to it. Males will usually get a leg span of between 11 to 12 centimetres, and females will get a leg span of 15 centimetres, so they're quite a nice sized tarantula. If you take proper care of these, females can live for 15 years, while the males will only live for about 3 to 4 years. They are a small sized tarantula, which makes them a great tarantula to start off with. Number 3 on the list has got to go to the Chilean rose tarantula. The Chilean rose tarantula has got to be one of the most recommended beginner species out there. They're very hardy tarantulas, what makes looking after them easy. They'll spend most of the time sitting in one spot in the tank, and they will be out and about. It is literally like having your own pet rock. The Chilean rose is a medium-sized tarantula, with mature females getting a body length of up to 7.5 centimetres and a leg span of about 15 centimetres. They are a slow-growing tarantula and a long-living species, what makes them a great choice for anyone who's starting out, and they are one of the most common tarantulas to start with in the pet trade. Number 2 has got to go to LPs. Bigger is always better, right? And who wouldn't want a beast of a tarantula to start with, what gets 7 to 10 inches? They really are a monster of a tarantula to keep. They are very common in the hobby to find, and they really don't cost that much to buy. Slings and juvies are known to be more skittish, and they are known to flick a lot more hairs than adults. And when they're growing up, they'll pretty much tolerate you handling them, and they make a gorgeous display tarantula because they are out and about. They do get the common name salmon pink beard eater from their pink red hairs along the legs when adults, and they really are a breathtaking, gorgeous tarantula to keep, and well worth having if you're looking for a giant monster tarantula. Before we get into number 1 on the list, make sure you give us a like, guys, give it a share, give us a comment and subscribe. It really does help us out, and it shows us that these top 10s are something you want to see, guys. Also, let me know in the comments what you want the next top 10 to be. I love hearing from you beautiful people. Number 1 on the list has got to go to the Costa Rica zebra striped knee tarantula. They really do have a unique colour and pattern on them, which makes them stand out from all the rest of the tarantulas in the hobby. They are typically black, brown or even dark purple with stripes going down the legs. The legs are otherwise black with light brown hairs on them. These are an absolute beautiful tarantula and well worth keeping in the hobby for sure. They grow to between 10 to 13 centimetres, which includes the leg span, which means they're quite a small tarantula and they won't get too big, and they'll be easy to house and you won't need a massive enclosure for them. Females can live for 20 years with the right care, so you get your tarantula for quite a long time, and they're normally very chilled and great display tarantulas for sure. They are fast moving tarantulas, what makes holding them a must not do. They are very skittish normally, and when you go to feed them and open up their enclosure, they will normally bolt into their burrow and hide in there, but they do have an absolute amazing feeding response and are amazing to watch feed, and normally 8 times out of 10 they will take their food. Females and adults, you want to feed them crickets and locusts, etc., like you would feed all the rest of the tarantulas, and these are absolutely a must-have tarantula in the hobby. I hope you enjoyed today's list, and make sure you let me know in the comments down below, guys, what your top 10 tarantulas would be. Also, let me know what you want my next top 10 to be. I'd love to hear from you beautiful people. With all that said, I promise you to see you in the next video. Check one of the videos what's going to be floating around now by YouTube. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.